Senator Cornyn, we'll go to you now.
Ms. Stefanik, as you pointed out, the United Nations has a long and shameful history with regard to its treatment of our ally, Israel. And you alluded, and I think quite appropriately, to the Daniel Patrick Moynihan's statement about the 1975 resolution basically calling Zionism a form of racism. And I think history has remembered that as a Moynihan moment. And I look forward to many Stefanik moments during your tenure there at the United Nations. I'm pleased to support your nomination. I have a couple of questions, one about Iranian nuclear aspirations and the other about Russia. First, let me start with Russia. We know that Mr. Putin does not honor any obligations of the Russian Federation dating back to 1994 with the Budapest memorandum, where he said they would protect Ukrainian sovereignty in exchange for relinquishing their nuclear weapons. More recently, he's not only engaged in an unprovoked and barbaric attack against Ukraine in violation of that very agreement, but also engaged in a de facto annexation of Belarus. What do you think our policy should be in dealing with Mr. Putin? My view is that he is not going to stop as long as he feels like he has an opportunity to reestablish the Russian Empire, something he has said he aspires to do. What do you think our national policy with regard to Mr. Putin should be and his territorial aspirations?
Sure. So I can point to my record. I have been very strong in support of our deterrence efforts through the National Defense Authorization Act that we've passed on a bipartisan basis. I would point to President Trump's success in his first term. As I pointed out, he is the only modern president where Putin did not invade another country, and that's because of the strong leadership that President Trump brings every day. We did not see that with our previous president, in President Joe Biden, and I think the catastrophic withdrawal led to this cascading of weakness around the globe. And of course, one of the after effects was Russia's decision to invade Ukraine. I think the president needs to have maximum flexibility to bring this resolution to an end, a peaceful resolution, stopping the killing, stopping the bloodshed. He campaigned on this issue, and certainly Secretary Rubio testified extensively on this issue as well. So I want to support his commitment to do so through his special envoy and his decisions as president.
It seems like the Biden administration has tried to use diplomacy without the credible threat, at least, of the use of force. Do you think diplomacy works without deterrence?
I think you need to have deterrence. I think deterrence is key. You're talking to a member who's been on the House Armed Services Committee, who's served on the House Intelligence Committee. I think deterrence is our strongest way to ensure that we have peace. I've been proud to help rebuild our U.S. military in the first term of President Trump when he signed the National Defense Authorization Act in my district at Fort Drum. So I'm a deep believer in deterrence. Diplomacy is very important as well. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's important that this position serve at the cabinet level. And I'm honored that the president nominated me to be in his cabinet in this position.
As you know, because you have a record dealing with the UN Security Council Resolution 2231, adopted as part of that deal, the Iranian nuclear deal in 2015, was snapback sanctions if Iran violated the agreement, which it has clearly done time and time again. President Trump sought to initiate those snapback sanctions in August of 2020, but it was not successful at the time. In 2023, you signed a bipartisan letter, as you'll recall, to the British, French, and German leaders, urging them to immediately initiate the snapback mechanism. How important do you think it is that that snapback occur, and what threat is there to the region and to world peace of Iran acquiring a nuclear weapon?
Oh, it's the most significant threat to world peace and specifically to the region. And I have a long record on this issue. I think it will be an important tool to consider in the president's toolkit as he pushes back on Iran. If you look at the success in his first term of the maximum pressure campaign on Iran, we had the Iranian regime, he had the Iranian regime at its weakest point. And what we have seen with the hundreds of billions of dollars sent to Iran during the last president is you have an emboldened Hamas, who committed the bloodiest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust on October 7th. You had an emboldened Hezbollah, which luckily successfully Israel has continued to eradicate the terrorists of both Hamas and Hezbollah, and that's funded by Iran. So it has a cascading effect across the region. One of the greatest breakthroughs to push back on Iran is the Abraham Accords and building upon that success. Also using our energy policy, and President Trump was a visionary in this space, understanding that energy policy is national security around the world.
Thank you.